Hello and welcome back. This is Insti and I'm continuing playing Sherlock Holmes and Jack the Ripper and Jack the Ripper, whatever. Yes, last time we read about two cases: testimony of Smith affair, and Martha Debran case. And Sherlock Holmes, in great wisdom, deduced that the Smith's case is probably not connected, and it's definitely not connected to the Jack the Ripper case, but Martha Debran is. But now I think we need to go. I think we need to go to the pet shop.
I must go to the pet shop.
Yes, pet shop. But my memory is a bit foggy. Why? But we will soon find out, so let's go to the pet shop.
I must go to the pet shop.
Yes, you have told me twice, and here we are.
Closed until further notice. Abraham isn't there. No luck.
Beep beep.
Good evening.
Oh, good evening, sir.
Okay. Oh, right, we are probably going to ask about Abraham about those things he saw, probably. But why is the pet shop... Why is the shop closed?
Do you know why Mr. Solomonovich's shop has closed?
No, I don't. Perhaps his cousin, the cobbler, knows. But I believe the police came to take his animals. I think that might have something to do with it.
When was this?
During the day. The kids you were with the other day were there, they told me. They just came by to ask for some cat's meat. They didn't have any money, but I gave them some anyway. Ah.
Okay, what's wrong?
Is something wrong?
It's just that there was a little girl with them, the same age as mine. My little girl who went away with her mother, with the angels into the sky.
Dr. Watson told me about your loss. Please accept my condolences. Would you like to talk about it? How did it happen?
The illness, sir. My poor little girl was in agony, and her face and body were ravaged by the disease.
Her face?
Yes, she looked like a ghost.
I have a suspicion, but let's ask about him what the illness might be.
What illness was it?
Dr. Gibbons tried to explain when I took my little girl to see him, but I didn't understand. I'm sure that he was trying to insinuate it was my fault. I'm sorry, but I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I understand. Farewell. Let's go and see Dr. Gibbons.
Okay. Because if I remember correctly, syphilis is one of the diseases that can, at least some of them can affect on bones of the face and whatnot, and soft tissue also, if I remember correctly. I do not know, but I can't remember if it's something that can pass on to the child. I think it might be.
Hello, Doctor. Do you remember me? I'm Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Watson's friend.
Oh, yes. Excuse the mess, but I am doing a bit of tidying.
Hardyman.
I have come to see you about a Mr. Hardyman, a cat food seller by trade who recently lost his daughter and wife.
Yes, I know him. A tragic story.
Yes, please elaborate.
Actually, I was hoping you could tell me about the disease that took his daughter, a disease that would have attacked her face.
Well, to keep it short, we are speaking of syphilis, Mr. Holmes. You must certainly know that it is transmitted through intimate connections, and that the vast prostitute population here contributes to its inevitable progression. It destroys individuals by spreading through the body slowly. The most obvious symptoms can be found in the genitalia and on the face in the form of pustules or lesions. Sometimes this illness can destroy whole families. The father catches it from a prostitute, He transmits it to his wife, who in her turn passes it to the kids which she bears or nurses. These cases are numerous in the vicinity. Certain children, and this is the case of the little girl whom I won't name, suffer from an emaciation of the face which will, apart from predicting an imminent death, bring infamy upon the family.
Emaciation of the face.
Emaciation of the face?
Yes, what we sometimes call the pox. I will give you a photograph. One cannot be mistaken on the origin of such a face. The eyes seem to be void of lids. The nose is inexistent, as if it was cut off. And the cheeks are chiselled, as if cut with a knife. This loss of facial matter, this emaciation, is in this area often the gift from a father to his children.
Can I keep this photograph?
I should destroy it. But if it can remind you that one must sometimes think twice before giving in to physical attraction...
I always seem to find myself alone in such cases. Thank you, Doctor.
Well, that reminds me of one of the bodies we found.
Let's go to the cobblers.
So basically, what is insinuated here is that Jack the Ripper cut the victim's face to look like a syphilis victim, which could be seen as a accusation towards prostitutes, where he or somebody close to him got a syphilis. But I don't think, although there are things that point towards the beep beep guy, I'm still not convinced that he is the perpetrator. But yeah. So, can you tell me more?
Hello, Mr. Solomonovich.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, how are things with you?
Good, but what about your brother?
I heard your cousin Abraham had a problem with his shop. What happened?
If I didn't know you well, I would tell you that it's Jewish business that doesn't concern anyone but the Jews. But as you have a little bit to do with it, you have the right to know what is going on.
Ah, would I have something to do with it?
Someone had seen Abraham telling you something and making big gestures near the Imperial Club. A vicious rumor quickly spread, and it has caused him great injustice. A slanderous denunciation attracted the authorities' attention to my cousin's shop. Abraham must be in the process of answering their questions.
I did, indeed, speak with your cousin the other night. I'm shocked at the consequences of this discussion.
As I was saying, it's the story of the Jews. In the face of adversity, we are united, but amongst ourselves, it's like anywhere else. As soon as our people take a dislike to someone, for right or wrong, we can be without pity and quite cruel.
About the Aldgate butcher, who also suffers from syphilis and is missing.
This is all very worrying. Your cousin knows one, or rather two, of the men who were at the Imperial Club on the night of the Mitre Square murder. One of the two, a butcher in Aldgate named Joseph, is probably withholding information of the utmost importance. I must find this man. Perhaps you can help me.
But there are dozens of Jewish butchers around Aldgate, half of which must be called Joseph. And you know, Mr. Holmes, we Jews prefer to remain in the background of this murderer business, this Jack the Ripper thing. All of London is pointing their fingers at us saying, it's a Jew who disemboweled these women. Our community is in great peril, you know. There was the business with Lipsky and Leather Apron. I will see what I can do, but I don't promise anything.
I'd be extremely grateful to you.
Oh,
Very well. We may meet again, Mr. Solomonovich.
You are most welcome, Mr. Holmes.
I've paced up and down Whitechapel enough. I should return to Baker Street in order to reflect on the new facts that I have discovered.
Yes, as I was going to say that I probably made a mistake between two butchers. Not the butcher we were talking about, but the butcher down the street. I don't think that's the same person. the building we used as a test knives. I think he was suffering from syphilis. I might be wrong. Anyways, I think we need to go to the Baker Street. It's Fletcher. Don't know. Anyways, let's go to the Baker Street then. Where's the Baker Street? There it is.
Hello, Holmes.
Good day, Watson.
Listen, Holmes, I know I should have got here sooner to give you a report on my research, but this case has led me to neglect my patients and my wife more than I care to admit. I've been able to sort things out over the last few days, and now I am ready to pursue this investigation.
You don't have to justify yourself, Watson. Whilst I do tolerate you as an observer, and despite your occasional help with more menial tasks, may I remind you that you are by no means an indispensable part of this case.
Nice.
Oh, you tolerate me as an observer, do you? Oh, you're too much, Holmes. Well, Mr. Detective, despite my absence, I have been working on this case, putting my relationship on the line in the process. And I happen to have a confidential letter that only passed from one lord's hand to another. What it contains is extremely serious and concerns Dr. Tumblety and his collection of uteri.
Let me see that.
Okay, let's see how long this is. Okay. My lord, be hereby assured of my entire collaboration in the affair, to which I must reply. No one will be able to cast opprobrium on our institution ourselves. Our eminent colleagues support our policies, and they won't cooperate with the police as long as the higher interests that we serve aren't menaced. As you mentioned, we must avoid having to explain to uncultured masses the exigencies of medical research. A general crisis of confidence will result in the inevitable amalgamation that the press would hasten to create between this and the hideous murders committed in the East End. To this end, I tactfully evoked the rumor that you mentioned in your letter when I met you with my colleagues. It turns out to have grounds, and these are the specifics that I was able to obtain. 18 months hence, an American doctor in London did, in fact, contact certain hospitals. His approach was aimed at getting stocks of feminine genitalia, particularly uteri. He was motivated initially by the finalization of his research and of its publication. The doctor in question wanted to include a uterus specimen freshly conserved in formalin with each of the research dissertation sent to each of the colleagues involved. A large quantity was thus necessary, and this doctor proposed to buy each of the uteri for £20 each. The hospital directors did not pay heed to these demands, of that I have been assured. Between you and I, my lord, who knows what strange consequences would have followed these demands of the American doctor? The rumor of these unusual commissions made the tour of the hospitals in question at the time and has spread to others since. Simple day labourers employed in our organization considered that the gain of £20 could justify the theft, perhaps worse. The identity of the doctor is unknown to me, but based on the recall of any one of my colleagues, this man had the most impressive references. But after a bit of research that I didn't find the existence of any publication with an eventual correlation on this or the other side of the Atlantic. The man left London shortly after his pitch, it would seem. I cannot help but think that he has perhaps returned to London and has found someone who might furnish him with what he is looking for. Oh, that is interesting.
Excellent. This American could turn out to be of great use to use.
That's right, and that's not all. I did some research and finally found an illness that affects the genitalia and can, in certain cases, cause facial symptoms resembling the mutilations seen on the last victim. It is called, would you believe?
Syphilis and the emaciation that can be seen in affected children. I have known that for days, Watson.
Really?
Listen, now you're already here, Watson, we may as well continue the investigation. Do you remember the map on which we established the area in which our killer lives? I think we should continue our study.
Yeah. Holmes is so tactful with Watson here. I'm gonna check if there's anything new around here. I don't think there should be here, but wrong button again. Conclusions might have something. Syphilis deforms the patient's face. No, nothing new. I guess we go here then.
I discovered the case of another murder before that of Bucks Row. It happened in George Yard. We shall put it on the map in order to see if it corresponds to our area of research. We must place the murder of Martha Tabram in George Yard on the map.
And it's here.
That is where Martha Tabram's murder took place. There's no point going there. I already have all the information we need on that matter. You see, this murder took place in the area in which our killer lives, his safe zone. Nonetheless, there are two major differences between the murder of this Martha Tabram and that of Polly Nichols. Firstly, the blows inflicted are not the same.
And the second difference?
It follows on from a doctor's opinion. He claims two weapons might have been used, and if there is one group of people we absolutely must not trust in this business, it's doctors. Don't you agree, Watson?
Watch it, Holmes.
Tabram's murder took place in an area where the murderer, whose cowardice is clear, was able to make a quick getaway, that is to say, near his home. For his second murder, he would have wanted to go further afield, so the police would not link these two cases. And as for the other murders, seeing the ineffectiveness of his last one, he headed in different directions to kill his victims while still staying in the vicinity and without going any further than necessary, and all the while planning his escape. My dear Watson, we now know what this man looks like, in what area he lives, and that he suffered directly or indirectly from syphilis. Let's not forget the anatomical knowledge he must almost certainly possess. Given his lower-class background, a butcher seems very likely. However, it may be the case that the man was a butcher once, but is no longer. He might also have been a medical assistant. Who knows? That's why we need the testimonies of the other Joseph and Dr. Tumblety in order to be certain.
What shall we do, Holmes?
As the police's cooperation is futile and can be ruled out, we have nothing to do but wait. Watson, wait, and hope we see one of these two men before the killer strikes again.
At last, a long day's work done. How are you doing, Holmes?
Fine, Watson, just fine.
I suppose you still haven't heard any news from Whitechapel?
No, Watson.
It's been almost a month now. Who knows? Our killer may have brought justice upon himself, overcome by remorse and ignominy for his actions.
Not a chance, Watson.
You haven't done anything about the story of a kidney that was sent in the post and reported by the papers. Why not?
The killer left a message on one occasion with the intention of harming. The letter accompanying this package served no purpose other than to give value to its recipient and arouse disgust against its sender. The killer has never done anything for nothing. In order to authenticate the Galston Street message, he left an indisputable piece of evidence. Can we really say as much about this kidney?
I don't know. All I know is that there are letters piling up on your desk. Isn't it time to move on to another case?
Absolutely not, Watson. I think that the other Joseph is reluctant to meet me. The man he saw must certainly have put the fear of God in him, a man well known for his violence and his hatred towards Jews. There can't be any shortage of those in Whitechapel. I have hope yet. As for Dr. Tumblety...
We found him, Mr. Holmes. We found him.
Who's that?
Dr. Bumblebee. He's been locked up by the bobbies, but they've let him loose. Oi! He was looking round like a rat who's scared of his own shadow. He's gonna do a run at years.
Watson, this is our chance. The game is afoot. Let's hope that Tumblety will go to collect his trunk. As for you, my little friends, thank you for lifting this burden that has been on my shoulders for almost a month.
Time to go and catch Mr. Bumblebee. Anything else we can do at the moment? I'm just... Okay, I only have matches. Nothing new in here. What about... timeline? Well... and no deduction. Let's just go towards the... boarding house. I'll jump towards a police station and walk. It's a short walk.
Let's return to the boarding house.
I might as well save. So there's that. Like I said, I probably try to end this game on this episode, so this could be a longer episode. I know we are at the end game, but there's still one more murder happening and a few puzzles definitely, so I can't say how long this will take. Unless this is looking ridiculously long episode, then probably I have to decide what to do, but probably I will end it this in one go.
He's here, the doctor is here, up in his room. Peeking through my door, I saw him go up the stairs, and I think that he has a pistol.
Regarding the trunk, did you do what I told you to?
Yes, I jammed the lock and filled the trunk with stones. Should we call the police?
Absolutely not. Go home, lock your doors, and if you hear a gunshot, shout as loudly as you can. Watson, we must disarm this man at all costs before attempting to confront him. Come, have your pistol at the ready and stay alert.
Well, this turned interesting. I shouldn't think we have a big problem, but let's see.
Don't move a muscle or I shoot.
Who? But what is going on?
Bravo, Watson. I take back everything I ever said about your less than full involvement in our investigations.
Listen, Mr. Policeman. I already told everything to your colleagues at the station, so...
Don't you believe it, sir. We're not with the police. We are here to talk about human organs, an area in which you seem to have a great deal of interest.
What? But who are you?
We are the ones holding the pistol. Listen, Tumblety, tell us everything you know and you will be spared from the noose or a bullet. Have you tried to get hold of any female genitalia from someone during these past months?
So that's it. You English. Listen, as it happens, I do have a collection of female genital organs which I hold dear and never miss the chance to show my friends whatever the occasion. If you knew what I feel when my eyes meet the young men's as they contemplate with astonishment and disgust this soft and flabby skin that they worship and place at the center of all their passions. Women repulse me, gentlemen. They are one of nature's greatest mistakes. Lying, haughty, and most of all, nauseating. No, sirs. Men, mankind, we are not made to soil ourselves with such animals, and it is my task to educate my peers, like the ancient Greeks used to do, and put them on the path to masculine relationships, the only kind worthy of our intelligence.
My God, this man has lost his marbles, Holmes.
You haven't answered my question. Did you attempt to obtain any female organs?
Indeed, but a long time ago. I was living in Liverpool at the time. A few of my specimens were starting to lose their freshness. But despite the sum proposed, the heads of the university hospitals refused to accede to my demands. The fear of what others would say, certainly. I know nothing more similar to an arrogant fowl than an English doctor. Yakety-yak, always showing off in the courtyard with their haughty airs. And as soon as...
Shut it, Tumblety. So, was it you who killed all of these women? Yes or no?
I regret to say that it was not. If I had really wanted a few more uteri, I would have had them brought in from the United States, where it would cost me much less than here. Or I would have shown a few gold coins in the hallways of a morgue or a hospital in London, and they would have kissed my feet to sell them to me, and not taken the least risk. But kidneys are all the latest, aren't they? I think that I could find one tomorrow for less than £1. In short,
Gentlemen, I do not know your killer, and I don't know why he's doing that. But if you come across him one day, please send him my friendship and my deepest respect.
You've gone too far this time.
Come, Watson, let's not get carried away now. Thank you for your assistance, Doctor. If I may offer some advice, you should leave England as soon as possible. Each day that you remain in this country is a risk that an intelligent man would not take.
My pistol?
Without that, it will be even more risky.
Can we believe this man, Holmes?
He can't be the murderer, and his story regarding the organs fits. But we can't afford to take the slightest risk. I will ask the Baker Street irregulars to follow him. Listen, lads, when Tumblety leaves here, follow him discreetly and come and tell me as early as possible tomorrow where he is currently residing. Understood?
Understood, Captain.
You are already ready, Holmes. What is going on?
I have been waiting for you for at least an hour, Watson. It would appear that a new drama has unfolded. The youngsters came to give me this address, but I have some doubt as to the actual location we are going to. Let's try anyway. At worst, we may come across the Baker Street irregulars to put us in the right direction.
I'll have to say that interesting character, that Dr. Bumblebee. Or
We are
Dr.
lost,
Nice Guy.
Holmes.
No, we're not, Watson. We are heading for the very street I'd hoped for, but as I wasn't sure it was this one, I've made a few big detours in order to find the right one. I'll know it when I see the name.
Why, of course, Holmes. Why didn't I think of that? The great Sherlock Holmes can't...
Can't what? Can't what? Oh, bloody hell. So, let's move about, apparently, because I have no idea. You, sir. You don't look so well.
How are you, my friend? Are you not feeling well?
No,
My friend is a doctor. He can take care of you.
don't go there. He came here and he...
Now, Watson, take care of him.
Yeah, this is one murder we don't see even in a picture, if I remember correctly. You can find a picture of it from internet, and it is from Hell movie. Let's just say it's not a pretty sight.
I have no reason to go that way.
Yeah, I think it's that room. I was just checking. It's locked. Oh no.
My God!
What happened?
Can't talk. Wait for the coppers. Are they coming? My eyes are crying.
No.
Go find them too, mister. I'll stay here and keep an eye out. Go!
No, I must await my friend. Ah, here he is.
Watson, are you there? How are you?
Fine, Holmes, and you? What happened?
Hello, sir. Where are we, Watson?
In Whitechapel, Holmes. This must be Dorset Street. You don't seem very well. Do you need something?
Indeed, Watson. Some clay, a great big piece of clay. I would ask for some wine, too, but as you know, I taste nothing but melodrama.
What is over there?
A trip from which you will never return, Watson. Trust me, don't go there.
A trip? Behind this door? In this room?
It's not strictly a door, it's more of a portal, a threshold, and what lies behind it is not the mortal realm, Watson. It is a place beyond time and space, the gift of a frantic artist who made use of his talent in order to grant us access to his world, Watson. Beyond that threshold is an abyss. Hell. The police won't take long to arrive, and the last thing I want is to waste precious time on them. Could you lead me out of this area and take me home?
That was interesting. That was the second time we got a stutter between talking. So yeah, heartless bed it happened there. Can I talk to you still?
I have nothing to ask.
What would Holmes say if I tried to go back in?
I have no reason to go that way.
Yes, definitely no reason. So I think we go back to the bakery because what we are going to do is model the crime scene.
You should come and eat, Holmes. Mrs. Hudson has worked wonders. The joint has been cooked medium rare. If only you would tell me what was in the courtyard.
The answer, Watson.
The answer, Holmes?
Yes, the answer to a question that you asked me a few weeks ago.
And how the devil can the answer to a question I asked you be found in that courtyard? And what question are you referring to, Holmes?
How our killer set about reaching the height of horror by taking another victim, Watson. Did I not tell you that I wanted to avoid melodrama?
Do you mean to say that...
Yes, that's what was in that room. You helped towards the colour. All that's missing is the odour, but I shall let that pass. The mutilations almost all resulted in large removals of flesh. My photographic memory noted them all in great detail, the shape, size and location, and thanks to the softness of this clay and your medical knowledge, I believe we can attempt to determine what is missing from this lady.
Don't you think we should wait for the medical examiner's opinion?
Surely not, Watson. This massacre has gone on long enough. I can assure you that I will do everything in my power to get our hands on Jack the Ripper before this night is out.
Okay, I'll make a quick save here, and now we have to deduce the part or parts that are missing using this lovely clay doll.
Watson, we shall reconstruct the body of this poor woman and inspect it in detail as well. Your help as a medical man will be invaluable.
Holmes, I feel a bit unwell.
Well, I understand. I will manage on my own. Her throat was slit just like the others. The wound is particularly deep.
Okay, what do I need to do? Okay.
There were incisions in the rib cage, as if to inspect the lungs.
I think that's
the liver was neatly removed.
Okay. Kidneys. Spleen. Uterus.
The liver was neatly removed.
Okay, not yet. Stomach. And
the liver was neatly removed. An organ is missing, apparently. I must specify which organ this is on my list.
Well, obviously, heart is missing.
There we are, Watson. We have examined everything. The heart is the only thing missing. 2 uteri, a kidney, and now a heart. He had all the time he wanted in which to disfigure her, cut her up like a piece of meat, and yet took nothing but the heart. What do you think of that, Watson? Watson? I dread to think how you'd react if you saw a corpse. I'm returning to Whitechapel, Watson, to Isaac's. If the heart tells you to come with me, if the heart tells you a little wordplay there. Let's go to the cobbler's.
Well, at least Sherlock Holmes hasn't lost his humor. Okay. So cobblers it is, and yeah, that's quite the accurate representation of the scene. as far as I know.
I have no reason to go that way.
Wait, what? Oh, no, not London Hospital. Here.
Let's go to the cobbler's. I have nothing to ask.
Okay. Well, let's go to the cobbler's.
Beep, beep. Evening, Mr. Holmes.
Well, where's Abraham?
Good evening, Hardyman. Has Abraham Solomnovich still not reopened his shop?
No, not that I know of.
Have you heard anything about the latest murder?
Certainly there is talk of nothing else. Poor girl. I hope they catch the bastard who did it.
Who do you think that could be?
A madman, that's for sure. Everyone in the area is pinning it on a Jew. But I don't believe that for a second.
Why?
Because Jews don't like blood, you see. They're not allowed to eat it, and they have to drain the meat before cooking it. It's true that they eat animals, but they are fanatical about all kinds of silly things. I don't know much about their rituals and all, but I know that a Jewish butcher can't just do whatever he pleases with his knife. He has strict kosher rules to follow.
You seem to be very well informed.
Well, I buy my meat from them too. My clients don't care whether the meat comes from Jews or not. Cats eat it regardless. And let me tell you, I'd go as far as to say that I may even have more faith in a Jew, because even if they don't eat all the offals, a Jew inspects them to see if the animal was in good health. Lungs, for the most part, and as they make up most of my cat's meat, you can see the connection, right?
Okay, Jews eat offals.
Jews are allowed to eat offals?
Oh, yes. They eat calves' kidneys, I think.
How big is that? A calf's kidney?
Ah, well, that depends if it's fresh or if it's been marinated in brine or cooked.
When fresh, are they as big as a human kidney?
They would be, yes.
You know, Mr. Hardyman, it's lucky for both of us that the murder that took place in your mother's courtyard was only the Whitechapel killer's third. Had it been the first, I wouldn't be thanking you, as I'm doing now, for all of this important information. Goodbye and take care.
If you say so. Right, farewell, Mr. Holmes.
Let's go to the cobbler's.
Okay, probably we are going to ask more about eating habits.
Good evening, Mr. Solomnovich.
Evening, Mr. Holmes. If you've come about the business with my cousin, I hate to say...
Apparently it's not opening, but about the offals.
Before you respond to my request, I must ask you to answer this question of the utmost importance. What offals are Jews allowed to eat?
Well, the same as you.
Kidney, heart, liver?
Yes.
How are they prepared?
Kidneys are boiled, heart is often finely sliced and cooked on a skewer, and liver is always grilled.
These offals, do they come from cattle?
Yes, beef or veal.
And eating non-kosher food would be a grave affair for a Jew, isn't that right?
Yes, it would be very serious. But what are you getting at?
The Aldgate Butcher.
If I were to tell you what I'm thinking, Mr. Solomnovich, you would pull out your own eardrums to not hear the end of my sentence. It goes against the beliefs of hundreds of members of your community, and for some, perhaps even worse. I will ask you one last time before involving the authorities, who I assure you will be far less discreet than myself. Do you know who the second Joseph is, the Aldgate Butcher, who your cousin knows from the Imperial Club?
His name is Joseph Hyam Levy, but I don't know where he lives. I know nothing about him, other than he's a member of the Imperial Club on Duke Street.
That street is after Church Passage, coming from Mitre Square, am I right?
That's it.
Thank you. You have been an enormous help to both of us. Now, listen carefully. I need you to find 4 or 5 strong men among the members of your family who you trust wholeheartedly, and to wait here with them until my arrival, or you receive a message from me. Is that clear?
But if you will tell me...
Later, Mr. Solomnovich, later. Let's go to the Imperial Club.
Okay, let's go to the Imperial Club then. Oh, right.
Ah, there's the Imperial Club. Let's see if I can find Joseph Hyam Levy.
Let's see if we can check the Mitre Square now that it's a little lighter. I'd like to see what it looks like. Like I said, these are probably tried to model as closely as the areas were. They at least seem, what I have seen in the pictures, resembling these areas. Of course, I can't know for certain because I haven't checked that how what do I say? How exact these areas are, but I would say quite closely. Okay. So, but before I go in, I'll go get something to drink and I'll be right back. Okay, time to enter the Imperial Club.
Hello, sir.
Hello. Can I help you, sir?
Indeed, I have an urgent message for Mr. Joseph Levy, the Aldgate butcher.
I regret, sir, but Mr. Levy is not at the club at present. You can wait for him if you wish.
I thank you. Do you know where I can find him? His home address, perhaps? It is a very urgent matter.
I am sorry, sir, but we do not give out information regarding the club members to people outside the group.
I understand. I must find a way to enter the Imperial Club without having to go through the entrance hall.
Okay, what can I see? Today, Friday, November 9th, 1888, 9 p.m. Informational meeting, naturalization, how to become a citizen of Her Majesty, the process and its implication, club members action, 10 p.m. Open evening with musical accompaniment, classical and traditional pieces, Mr. Plum, piano, Mr. Schatz, violin. Administration will be closed all day, okay. Anything else? Oh, there's something on the floor. Maybe I just ran.
Judging by the sound of voices and applause, there's a meeting going on at this very moment. I'll have to be very cautious.
Pardon me, sir, but the club is only open to members.
Oh.
I must find a way to enter the Imperial Club without having to go through the entrance hall.
Okay, what is that?
A note encouraging members of the Jewish community to remain prudent and vigilant after rumours about the Whitechapel murders.
Excuse me. Chief Rabbi's reminder, the Whitechapel murders weigh on our community heavily. Consequently, an exemplary conduct must be shown now more than ever. Now more than ever. Now more than ever. As well as increased vigilance. Jewish establishments such as synagogues, shops and clubs are likely to become targets. All incidents must be stifled as much as is possible. I do understand that, yes, and now we take...
This may come in handy.
This, and apparently it will become handy. How, we don't know. So, I guess I need to go outside and see what I can find from there. We can't go over here. Or can we? No. Oh! Okay. Oh, what do we have here? Coal?
Coal. It's a service door and firmly locked. There must be a stockroom in the cellar beneath this room.
Right. So...
There's a cellar window behind this barrel, which is preventing me from passing. If I can just get into the coal cellar, I shall be in the place.
Right.
This barrel is on a wooden pallet, but it is too heavy to be moved. I will need a pivot.
Pivot. Hanger? Well, that's the only thing I have. Unless... Oh! No. There's something here. Anything else? Okay, there's something... Ooh, nice. Yeah, I thought that the hanger might not be enough for what we are going to do. I think we have everything, so let's see if I need to... No. So do I just...
There we are. My pivot is in place. Now, let's find something to tip over this barrel.
Okay, and I guess we use this.
I should be able to make it tip over.
Elementary.
Closed. The cellar window is locked from the inside by a simple iron hook.
Now we use the...
Let's go. Good.
Hanger.
Let's try to find the exit that leads to the club.
That's
I
outside.
have no reason to go that way.
No, you don't. Well, the only exit we have is up here. We have 2 doors. What is that? A key.
This may come in handy.
What is that? Administration key. Well, that might definitely come handy because we probably need the key. What is over there?
Empty tin cans.
Oh, that was weird. Do I open this? What is over here?
Closed.
Can I use key?
Closed.
No. I guess...
No, that's not such a good idea. There's a meeting taking place.
So that must be the area where I would come in.
No, that's not a good idea. The watchman is still there. I must find a way to get him to leave his post.
Okay, and we can't interact with that, so the administration has to
The
be
kitchen.
here.
It's closed, and besides, I won't find what I'm looking for in there.
Wait, what?
The kitchen. It's closed, and
Okay, that's the kitchen then.
let's hope that it really is the key to this door. Administration. Perfect. This must be where the information on club members is kept.
Honestly, I don't know how I missed that hand marker there. There's a safe, but before we go there, I'll check everything. Quite somber paintings and persons. Nothing terribly interesting here, but what is that? Puzzle pieces?
Some square metal tokens. Curious. There is a document.
Sir, I wanted to let you know that if your club needed a kosher meat when you have any special functions, I would be able to furnish it for you. Guaranteed by a compliant abattoir, it will be delivered directly to your society at a time that is convenient. Reasonable prices. Do not hesitate to call upon my services. Jacob Levy. Refused on the advice of Joseph Hyam Levy. Interesting. Jacob Levy, but refused on the advice Joseph
There
Hyam
must have
Levy.
been litigation between Joseph Hyam Levy and Jacob Levy.
So that is interesting. What do we have here?
A page from an old Yiddish English dictionary. Court's proceedings. Curious.
Okay, I might as well read it. New Court, Tuesday, April 6th, 1886, before Mr. Recorder 419, Morris Phillips 30, Moss Wolf 16, and Jacob Levy 30, stealing 14 pounds of meat of Hyman Sampson, the master of Phillips and Wolf. Mr. Clure prosecuted, Mr. Moiser appeared for Phillips, Mr. Black for Wolf, and Mr. Geegan for Levy, maybe, I don't know. Samuel Bacon, City Policeman 941. I received information from my inspector, and on 10th March, 6:15 a.m., I was watching the prosecutor's shop. Phillips came up to the door and knocked, got the answer, and went away. About 2 minutes afterwards, Levi came out of his shop door, which is next door. A post divides them. He knocked at Mr. Sampson's door and went back in at his own door. came out again in a minute or two, unscrewed the bolt of his shutter bar, and then looked around and knocked at Mr. Sampson's door again. There being no answer, he went down the street 10 or 12 yards to the corner of the stony lane. Phillips joined him. They conversed and went back to Mr. Sampson's door. Phillips knocked, and Levi went in at his own door. The door was opened. Phillips went in and turned up the gas. Levi came out of his shop and went into Mr. Sampson's shop, where he had a conversation with Phillips. He came back in about a minute and went into his own shop, where I saw Wolf, who brought a piece of meat from the back of the shop to the door and hung it on the hook just inside the door, and then came out to the footway, looked around, took the meat off the hook and took it quickly in at Levi's door and gave it to the Levi's. He then returned to Sampson's shop. I ran into Levi's shop, caught hold of him with the meat in his hand and asked what he was going to do with it. He said, "We are only having a lark. I am going to weigh it." I said I did not believe it. I should take him into Mr. Sampson, which I did, and then took him to the station, where he repeated that it was only a lark. I found £32, 10 shillings and 9 pence in his pockets, I think. The meat was 14 pounds of beef. I had been watching since 5:15. It was perfectly light outside at 6:15, but not inside Levi's shop. There being no gas. Cross-examined by Mr. Black, I was in some building opposite, lying among some bricks and rubbish, but not within hearing distance. I could not see who opened the door, as the shutters were not down, but Phillips... I could not see who opened the door as the shutters were not down, but Phillips turned the gas up afterwards. We were both in plain clothes. Wolf sleeps on the premises. James Jones, City Policeman 935. I was with Bacon. I have heard his evidence and corroborated. I went into Sampson's shop and saw Phillips and Wolf. I told them I was a police officer and should take them in custody for stealing a piece of beef. Phillips said, "I know nothing about it. I came from the back of the shop." Wolf said, "I know nothing about it. I know nothing about it. I took them to the station." Cross-examined by Mr. Black, Wolf did not say, "I know nothing about it." I correct myself, he made no reply. Cross-examined by Mr. Geegan. Geegan? I have no idea. Is Geegan? I have no idea. I did not go into Levi's shop, nor did I see in, as the shutters were up. There may have been quantity of meat in the background. Hyman Sampson. I am butcher of 35, Middlesex Street. Phillips and Wolf were my servants. Phillips about 3 months and Wolf about 2 or 2.5 years. I had spoken to the police, and on 10th March about 5 o'clock I went to market. I was sent for and came back and found the 3 prisoners in custody. The policeman asked Levi what he intended to do with it. He said that the boy brought it in for a lark, and then said, "Mr. Sampson, you are not going to do anything with me." The meat was worth 7 shillings. Cross-examined by Mr. Moiser. Phillips slept at the shop on Wednesday and Thursday. This was Wednesday morning. He would sleep away from the shop on Tuesday nights. Cross-examined by Mr. Black. I discharged Wolf once and took him back again. I had a place in Goldstone Street for 19 years. I know Binwell, a butcher. I took Wolf from his employment. I never asked for a character. He was only a little boy. I have never found fault with him before. Cross-examined by Mr. Keegan. Levi was there before I came. He has not taken customers from me. I have no animosity against him. I have met him out of business hours. This was not the best meat, that 6 pence a pound. This was not the best meat at 6 pence a pound. I have some at 11 pence. Levi has never chaffed me and said that his meat was better than mine. He buys from the same killer as I do. I sell more expensive meat than he does, but there has been no joking about it, nor did we ever bet about it. The Jewish authorities will not give a man a license unless he has an excellent character. I have accused my wife of robbing me. I did not find out that she had separate banking... Wait. I did not find out that she had a separate banking account. I did not accuse her before Phillips came into my service. I may have said that the police court that I accused her 12 months ago. I have not said that if Levi could leave his shop, I would not carry on the prosecution against him. I would not let him off for £10,000. Re-examined at 6:15 a.m. My 5 employees were on the premises. Levi received a good character. Phillips not guilty. Wolf guilty, recommended to mercy by the jury. 4 months hard labor. Levi guilty of receiving 12 months hard labor. Okay, that was a little bit interesting. So
This must be the club's safe. What I'm looking for is probably inside. I need something.
I'm a little hazy with that, but anyways, let's digress. Metal tokens. Do I use these? I think we use these.
This must be the club's safe. What I'm looking for is probably inside. The lock on this chest is very sophisticated. Let's see.
Okay. If my memory serves correctly, this looks hard, and to be honest, can be a little bit. And the point is, because you can't turn these, if I remember correctly, no. So the point is, if I remember correctly, to make the markings match. What I mean to say, like in here. So if we had this here, we need to have this here and then build around it, if I remember correctly, because I don't think there's anything else we can do about it. But how am I supposed to start working this? Do we have anything? Well, basically what I need to know, what would be the corner piece? Is it even possible? This cannot be corner piece. Well, it could. So this piece could go under this or this. Do we have some? Well, yeah, this could go around the left side. Okay, this is basically, I should probably start putting things inside there. I'll put this one on the center and just let's go with that and see what we can do. So, no, this doesn't work on here. This could work on here. Nope. What was I thinking? Definitely not. No, this doesn't go to the corner. But let's try it here. So far, so... Well, I don't know if it's good, but we could use this. Definitely this is not going to go through like this. Because I'm mainly planting these just to get some kind of a start. Well, this is unfortunate. Okay, so basically this could work. What happens if I move this over here? Then all this packet would go over here. Let's say that these 4 pieces, and I could get that on the right side over here. And how is it going then? What would go to the, if this would be here and this would be here, so what would go down? Well, it could be this part. Maybe. Okay, it's easier if I just do it like this. So these works, okay. Oh, whoa. Yeah, I made a mistake there. So now we have these 4 pieces which were here. They're now here. Now we have this corner. We can really? Oh no. No. We could put this, well, we can't put this here, but we can put this here. What would that change? Not much. Oh, this is wrong. Okay. I didn't check that. Okay, so we have this connects to this. This connects to this. This is working. This is working. This is working, and this is working. Can we get? But the problem is we don't have anything to connect upwards. I can put this here, which works, definitely. There's one... Is this totally different? Unique? Are these unique? Well, this is not unique, but is this unique? Interesting. So these two are totally not compatible. Where can we put these? I don't know if this... this looks correct. Well, I don't know if it's correct. I can put this here. Wait a minute, let's take these off. So let's say this is here. What can we do with it now? Nothing really. I think this took me quite a while last time I played, and probably will do it again, because it's always so close, but still. I don't want to change these. These would look like they, at least we were quite close, and I need to have something to work with before, if I take everything off, then it's a little problematic. What else we could change? Can I, if I like put this over here, then there's crown down here. Can we do anything with that? Anyone having P up? P up? No. The problem is this. What if I change... this has to be, well, I don't know if this has to be, but there's no P, so either this is top row and this is bottom row. What happens if I change this here and this here? Then we don't have to worry about the crown. Now we have these here. So now I have this pi symbol, and this is off. Let's try with this. There's the crown. Oh, this is working now. And this is going here. Am I getting this correct? Yes, pi and n. Did I get it? Is this correct? Pi, pp, tt. Yeah, I keep this quiet. Yes. It seems like it.
Elementary.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I need something.
Well, what do I need now? Matches?
I need something.
Book?
These documents contain some words in Yiddish, which reads from right to left.
Dear Joseph, I did counting of names for our club members, which is as follows. Mr. Bath is 403, Bet to Aleph 1 and Tha 400. Mr. Hammer is 356, Hey 5 Aleph 1 Mem 40. Please tell Mr. Murrell that provided his name is spelled as he is 346. We know from Kabbalah the power of the gematria that enables you to count everything in the world, seen and unseen. Thus we know that the Lester counts as 439 and he is blessed because 439 is also, which means man of God. Okay, numbers. Beth 2, so B would be 2. Two 1,400. I think this was the puzzle that took me also quite a while. Aleph. What do I do? So would this be number 1? But how does it work? Oh, so because I was thinking both Aleph 1, I think that's Aleph, then would this be A? Okay, so it turned to green. Okay, what do we have here? We have this number 2. Number 2 is Bet is 2, so B would be 2. Seriously? Is this B then? Okay. What is this? This is... Where is it? 5. Do we have 5? So that would be hey. He. Is it? Okay. And that would be 6. Do we have 6 anywhere? I don't really... Do we have anything else? Am I missing something? Obviously, I could just stick them. Okay, I'll see if I can see the rest of these. I don't know if I'm doing this correct. These at least are green, so they probably are right. So I could go with between using just trial and error, but let's see. Is this 200? No, 30. Okay, do we have 30 in anywhere? We can see 40 we have, but not 30. There's nothing I can... Mr. Hammer... provided his name is spelled 346. There's that symbol. 3 is... Okay, any other numbers we can choose before we continue? What is this? This is the 40. That would be mem. So letter M. Let's see if this is correct. Yes. And what do we have here? We have 90. We don't have 90 straight away. And then last but not least is 200, and that's that weird thing. And that would be R. So let's say that those are correct. I need the last 3 letters, which are 6. So this would mean that sometimes 2 letters can be one number, like we have bath is 400, so how do I make it work? 400 plus 3, 403. 110, 150, no? Okay, 200, 270, 310, 350, 355, 356. Okay, so that makes 356. So mural. What would be the numbers then? Mural. It's almost there, but still not there. And 6 could be this. So E. Could it be 6E? No. Okay. My brains are not working at the moment. And I can't think of any word from that. And it probably is not it probably isn't an English word. So wait a minute. This would be 70. Okay. 30, 100, 300, 306, 346, 346. Wait a minute. But what letter this is? Oh, right. Oh, no. From right to left. Mural. So this would be what? This would be E. Oh, right. Yes. I totally forgot that one. Obviously, yes, from... So that would be U. 6. And then the snaky one, 30, would be L.
Excellent. Now, on to the next step.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I totally forgot that from right to left. Okay. So, what are we looking for? Levi. We have Joseph. Nothing else, I think. Let's start with Joseph. Levi Joseph Hyam, born in Aldergate 1841, membership, excuse me, April 14, 1886, home address 36 Middlesex Street, Aldgate. Profession, self-employed butcher at 1 Hutchison Street, Aldgate. Dues, 10 shillings, 6 pence, April 14, 1887, 11 shillings, April 15, 1888. Okay.
Here, I have the address of this Joseph Hyam Levy, 36 Middlesex Street. Now, let's try to get out of here without being seen.
I think I made that mistake last time I was playing that. That I didn't realize I have to think about it from right to left, not left to right. Yeah, I'm almost certain that that was the mistake I made last time. What?
This may come in handy.
Okay. There's a window.
I can't get out through the window. It's blocked and appears to be reinforced. I'll have to find another way out. Oh, I guess we need to go back to cellar, because we can't... I don't think we can go... The kitchen. It's closed, and besides, I won't find what I'm looking for in there.
Well, that doesn't leave us many choices then. What is there?
I need something. I need something.
Okay. No, I don't have the cat. Can I?
I need something.
Right. We need something more.
Closed. I can't get out through the window. It's blocked and appears to be reinforced. I'll have to find another way out.
So we need something. Apparently. What is that? Hook. What are we doing again? Rope and hook. Nope. Nope. Okay, I do not know what we are going to do, but let's try everything. Hook.
I need something.
Rope. Okay.
I need something. I need something.
I don't know. Okay. Rope.
I need something. I need something.
Bucket. Hook. Ooh, what are we actually doing here? I have no idea. Rope. I think I know what we are doing at the moment. We need to put the bucket in. Do we need something in the bucket? Ah, yes. And now we light this up. I'll make a save because I don't know if you can fail this. Hopefully, probably not, but you can't be too sure.
Now let's quickly hide in administration.
Okay.
Let's visit Joseph Levy at 36 Middlesex Street.
Okay, let's do that. Middlesex Street, it should be... Yeah, it's this. Yeah.
Here I am in Middlesex Street. Let's find number 36.
Okay. 36. 40. Oh, hello. 38. 35. It should be probably on this side then. And there it is. Lovely fog.
Hello, sir. What do you want?
Hello, Ma'am. I would like to speak with Mr. Levy. Do you know if he's in?
I am Mrs. Levy, his wife. He's not arrived yet.
Do you know when he'll be in?
Oh, no idea. You know, he works at the butcher's and helps at the slaughterhouse. It often happens that he doesn't come in until early morning and then leaves right away.
Well, listen. As soon as your husband Joseph returns, tell him that...
My husband isn't called Joseph.
You aren't the wife of Joseph Hyam Levy?
No, of course not. I'm the wife of Jacob Levy. Mr. Hyam Levy used to live here with his parents, but he moved.
Mummy, who's the man that you are talking to?
But this poor child has syphilis. He carries the mark on his face.
Leave us, children. Go back inside with your brothers and sisters.
Yes, Mother.
As I was saying, Mr. Hyam Levy doesn't live here. He works in a butcher's near Aldgate, but I don't know exactly where. But if you find him, he will surely live next door. Butchers always live near their work.
Could you possibly give him a message on my behalf?
I don't see him often, and... Well, even though we know him, we aren't on friendly terms, you see?
Is he bothering you, Mummy?
No, Simon, not at all.
That's a handsome boy you have. It's strange that he has light hair.
He takes after his father. Strong, with light hair.
Wait, he sounds familiar to me. A man of about 50 years old, very big, at least 6 feet tall, and left-handed, correct?
You are mistaken yet again. My husband is only 32 years old, no taller than 5'3", and he's right-handed.
Obviously, there are many Levies in the area. I will leave you, and I pray that you will excuse the disturbance. Perhaps we will have the pleasure of meeting again. Farewell, Ma'am.
Goodbye, sir.
Well, that was awfully...
Daddy!
I must return to Baker Street. Let's go to Baker Street.
Awfully interesting description. Okay, back to Baker Street.
Well, Watson, not looking so good.
Whose fault is that, Holmes? If you hadn't shown me your masterpiece in clay...
Some actions have much larger repercussions than would be assumed at first glance. Listen, Watson, in a few minutes I will leave Baker Street in order to meet Jack the Ripper and put an end to his crimes. Beforehand, I want to go over all our discoveries to assure myself that everything is clear.
Jack the Ripper? You know the identity of Jack the Ripper?
Without a shadow of a doubt, Watson, and I assure you that we are in possession of all the elements required to determine who Jack the Ripper is. Would you like to do this work with me? Well, we are still missing certain information in order to finish this investigation, Watson.
Okay, so Mary Jane Kelly had her throat slit the same way as the other victims. And that would mean what? Jack the Ripper had an accomplice. Definitely not. Jack the Ripper could not have committed these 5 murders. Again, incorrect. Jack the Ripper definitely killed P. Nichols, A. Chapman, L. Stride, C. Eddowes, and Mary J. Kelly. Yes, so this is this table done then. Mary J. Kelly's murder has a knowledge of anatomy. Well, at least rudimentary. That means the Whitechapel killer is a scientist. No. The Whitechapel killer possesses a large knife collection. Well, you do indeed. The Whitechapel killer is or was a butcher. Well, yes, butcher. And this is done. Now let's... Mary J. Kelly's heart was removed the same way as the other murders. Mary J. Kelly's lungs were subjected to incisions. Many of Mary J. Kelly's organs were detached. So, what do we get from that? The killer hesitated on the organs to remove. I don't think so. The killer wanted to verify the health of his victims. The killer kept going at his victims. Well, what we know about the situation now, it would definitely seem that the killer wanted to verify the health of his victims in a very odd way. Heart removed, adult kidney removed, uterus are removed and taken. So what does that mean? The victims each had a deformity. Jack the Ripper removed the victims' organs when he could. Jack the Ripper lost the organs of some of his victims when he examined them. I would say that he removed victims' organs when he could. That's pretty much what we can say from these tidbits. So, when he could. Okay. And the wounds of C. Edo's neck reveal that the murderer is right-handed. So, Jack the Ripper is left-handed, ambidextrous, or right-handed. All, again, points towards the right-handedness. Because right hand, right-handed, or left-handed, right hand. Mary Jane Kelly was disfigured. So Jack the Ripper has the score to settle with the Jewish community. Jack the Ripper wanted to give his last victims the appearance of syphilis. Jack the Ripper wanted to rip the faces of his last victims. Jack the Ripper wanted to disfigure his last victims in order to cause sensation. Well, probably give his last victims the appearance of syphilis, at least the second to last. I'll go with that. So what's that going to do with us? Jack the Ripper wants us to compare him to a terminal illness. Jack the Ripper seems like he suffers from syphilis. Jack the Ripper was confronted with syphilis. Okay, no, so it's they're confronted.
Perfect, Watson. Let's determine who Jack the Ripper is, Watson.
Oh, okay, let's do that. I have no idea who the other suspects are. Probably Tumblety could be one. Where's the table? Oh, right over there. Okay.
Thus, we have 5 suspects. Let's add the elements that correspond to each of them.
Jack the Ripper was confronted with syphilis. Works with here. And here. We don't know if Abraham Solomonovich has confronted syphilis. Probably not. We really don't know anything about Sickert. He didn't seem to suffer from syphilis, and he didn't have children or something like that. Tumblety, no, at least it seemed like it. The Whitechapel killer is poor. Well, definitely Hardiman is poor. I don't think Walter Sickert is poor. Can you say Abraham Solomonovich is poor? No, I think you can, because he's just... yeah. What about... Well, if Abraham Solomonovich, so definitely Jacob Levy is poor. I don't think Walter Sickert, or definitely Francis Tumblety is not poor, but I would say Walter Sickert is neither too, because his he went to French and he's a painter. What else? Poor Whitechapel killer is or was butcher. James Hardiman is at least some kind of a butcher. Jacob Levy is or was a butcher. But was Solomonovich also, I think? Oh yes, of course he was. I'm mixing the Solomonovich is the gobbler and the pet shop keeper. Pet shop keeper was a butcher. So yes. Oh, this goes down. Butcher. Jack the Ripper has a score to settle with the Jewish community. Levi, definitely. According to the court papers. We don't know about Walter Sickert. Tumblety has some score to settle, but not with the Jews per se. Hardiman, don't know. Abraham Solomonovich, don't seem like it. Poor butcher. Oh. Oh, there's more. Okay. Okay. We need to... Oh, there's quite a lot of here. Okay, this works a little bit. I thought we were... Okay. Butcher... possess great physical force. Well, that is harder to say. Well, Tumbledee's Hardiman definitely no. Mulder Sigurd, I don't know. Tumblety, maybe? Well, it will turn green if it's correct. Well, it was correct. Jacob Levi, well, it seems like it. I'll try Sigurd. Okay, no, Sigurd was not. Okay. Murder has workman clothes. I think Hardiman has. Definitely Levi. But does Abraham have it too? No. No, actually he doesn't. He's wearing Jewish garb. Lives in the ward of Aldgate. Well, that's only... Where does Hardiman live? I know he lives in Aldgate. Come on. Where's the Aldgate? I'll try. I think he lives somewhere. Can I see the map? Okay, no. Map. Okay. Apparently I can't. So I'll have to check. I can't remember. Nope. So he's not living in the Aldgate. Right-handed. Everyone is right-handed. The murderer has light-colored hair and mustache. Nope. Nope. Well, he didn't have mustache. He's definitely not like... So... this is... a little problematic. Do I have every... Ah, 5 foot 3 inches tall. Well, we definitely know he is. Anyone else? I don't think Hardiman is. No. 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 Do I now have everything? This is going up when I roll down, so that makes me a little bit... And apparently it just continues. Okay. So... what do we have? Ripper right-handed. Possesses great physical. Confronted with syphilis. Jack the Ripper lives in the ward of Aldgate. Whitechapel killer is poor. Jack the Ripper has a core to settle with the Jewish community. Command stater. Is or was butcher. The murderer has light color hair, and the murderer, well, to be honest, we pretty much guessed now that he would be. So Secret, definitely not. Tumbledy, no. Abraham Solomonovich, no. So, what now?
Thus, we have 5 suspects. Let's add the elements that correspond to each of them.
Okay, so I have to... So this is not done yet. Settle with Jewish community. I think Abraham had some. Okay. Who lives in... What else? Aldgate? Do you live in Aldgate? No. Do you live in Aldgate? No. 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 What am I missing? What am I missing now? In this final direction, you must determine who Jack the Ripper is. The 5 principal suspects in this case are represented at the top of the screen by an icon showing their faces on the left. On the left, you have cards showing Jack the Ripper's features. You must assign features that seem to correspond to the suspects by placing them under the image. Suspect can have between 1 to 10 cards each. To move a card, click on it one time and then click under it. Okay. Be sure to not assign anything to the suspect that hasn't been proven. Once positioned, the card changes color. A feature correctly placed is identified by a green color. An incorrectly assigned card is surrounded by red. To solve the puzzle, there should only be the correct cards under suspects, indicated by green color. You must remove or replace the cards in red. Once all of the cards are assigned to the correct suspects, that is to say, once they are all green, you must place the face of Jack the Ripper to the mannequin on the left. Apparently I need to... Okay, I'll just... Okay, I'm apparently missing something. Wait. Did I take a murderer has a workman clothes off? I put it in here. Did it take it? Okay. So it had to... Yeah, I probably changed it when I was trying to stick it in here, and apparently it changed it. Okay. Now we can do this.
And there you go, Watson. Jacob Levy, Jack the Ripper.
Fantastic, Holmes. And terrifying. But some aspects of this case are still unclear, at least for me.
For example, Watson?
Why does the man only kill prostitutes?
The man kills prostitutes because he blames them for the misery of his life. He must have frequented them assiduously, and, during these nocturnal visits, he contracted syphilis, which he passed on to his spouse, and via her, at least one of his children. He is an angry man in despair following a mistake that cannot be fixed.
Why does he only kill such miserable prostitutes?
He never had the means to afford prostitutes of higher standing than Nichols, Chapman, and the others. At one point in his life he was forced to steal to make ends meet. This indiscretion cost him dearly. He was imprisoned and exiled from his community. He had frequented low-class prostitutes. Thus, it was they who infected him, and they who must pay.
But why did he remove the organs?
To take vengeance on his own community, which rejected him and had more success than he. He is a man who bore the burden of a sinister reputation, that of a thief and a madman, because of his internment. So he took his vengeance in the most cowardly and horrific manner imaginable. He rubbed his knife on the uterus of a sick prostitute before using it. He passed Edow's kidney off as a veal kidney.
Why did he disfigure the faces of the last two victims?
Revenge yet again, Watson. This is what you did to my child. You will suffer the same fate.
And the piece of apron and the message at Goulston Street?
The only reason to have placed the piece of apron incriminating the message and attracting attention towards himself is that the people that Levy holds responsible for his arrest live in this building. The butcher's where he committed the theft is found in Goulston Street, and the majority of the butchers who denounced him surely live close to their workplaces.
But finally, Holmes, why didn't his wife or anyone else notice anything?
His wife has many children and must be very busy. The man is a butcher, which must facilitate things when one is questioned by the police in the street and must justify the bloodstains on oneself. Furthermore, butchers often work during the night as the meat must be sold fresh each morning. His nocturnal absences were easily justifiable. Finally, he works in the butchers or slaughterhouses. Nothing could be more simple than slipping a kidney in here and using a knife soiled with human blood there.
This story is frightful, Holmes.
Indeed, Watson. Lies, infidelity, venereal disease, murder, mutilation, and finally cannibalism. A complete anthology of what humans at their most vile are capable.
Let's go at once to Whitechapel and put this madman where he can do no more harm, Holmes.
Let's, Watson.
That one paper was interesting. I can't remember. There was gunpoint and whatnot. Can I see it? Did I miss that? Or is it something very early on? Testimony. Oh, it's this old police report concerning certain hours. April 1886 at gunpoint from the White Blue Mountain Inn, also called the Kayak Affair, 5-year Dartmouth, Benjamin. Jacob Levi, 30, Aldgate theft of a weight of meat from his employer, Hyman Sampson, butcher at 58 Goulston Street, Whitechapel, 20 months of Essex County Asylum. Asylum? Okay. So yeah, I have read this, but I was when it was showed there, I was like, wait, what? Did I miss that? But no, I haven't missed it. I read it, but I forgot it. Okay. Lovely weather. So let's move forward, and I think those are the people we are looking for at the moment.
I do believe we are not alone. I hope these men won't prevent us from passing.
Me? No. But you, yes, Watson. Your journey ends here tonight.
Pardon?
You're sometimes a little hot-headed. Moreover, Mr. Solomonovich has a few things to tell you. I won't be long.
You can come in, Mr. Holmes. He's waiting for you inside. Everything was organized according to your instructions. I don't know how to thank you.
Later. Dr. Watson is awaiting an explanation from you. Hello, Watson.
Holmes, have you the slightest idea what you are doing?
I think so, Watson.
Leaving this bloodthirsty pervert at liberty and hiding his existence from the London police? What folly!
Certainly, the police will never find their man, but with so many men deployed, this affair will indirectly have a benevolent effect on the crime in the vicinity.
But Holmes, wait! Justice hasn't been served, and we are accomplices to the fact.
Justice? But I don't serve justice, Watson. I serve truth. And, incidentally, I serve my country, and I don't think that I have ever served it better than today. Imagine if after months of terror and a murder as abominable as that of Miller's Court, we deliver to the English people a man of the Jewish faith, a journeyman and head of family as the guilty party. A man who forced members of his own people to eat human flesh. All of this contained tension would have exploded in a myriad of anti-Semitic acts which would have thrown Whitechapel into a rage of fire and blood. And this man's family, who are completely innocent and have suffered more than their lot, would have been the first in the line of sight. Should we condemn an entire people to shame and promise them 1,000 wounds because one of their members committed an unmentionable crime? Neither I nor you have the right to do so. Jacob Levy, Jack the Ripper, is now in the hands of his own people. I have complete faith in Mr. Solomovich and the members of his community who, I remind you, courageously helped us. They took great risks and acted with the most salutary discretion. And, oh yes, it is understood that you cannot chronicle this investigation. It would be best to invent a story that takes us far from London during the somber period, in pursuit of, let's see, something challenging. A ghostly dog that glows in the night.
Don't be ridiculous, Holmes. But what will happen now? The police will endure a serious setback and a real loss of credibility. And this man?
Well, a few months after the murders have ceased, the police commission, finding themselves at an impasse, will come up with a story to tell, and everyone will vow that they know the secret identity of the killer without having the right to reveal it. As for Jacob Levy, Jack the Ripper, he will be imprisoned by his own people. He will pace like a lion in its cage until the end of his days, haunted by his crimes and his insatiable vengeance, until finally the disease which drove him to kill those poor women will finish its work and make him its final victim.
And that was Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. Definitely interesting game, and yes, as you can see, we never delivered a person to the police because, well, it never happened in the real life also, so that was the situation. I haven't checked the information about Jacob Levy and if he's connected at all in these killings, or is he totally fictional character? He might be a real one. I might just check it while we're talking. Anyways, yes, from 3 of these games, Sherlock Holmes games, I definitely, well, again, I'm thinking these Awaken and Nemesis and Jack the Ripper somehow a trilogy. I don't know why. They are not trilogy in conventional senses, obviously. But yeah, somehow I think maybe it's because they are quite similar in outlook and whatnot, so probably that's the reason. So overall, I think this is the best of the 3. Mostly the puzzles are not overly complicated. And definitely feels more like a detective story. You actually do some detecting and whatnot. Obviously, you really can't make a wrong choices here. It tells you that, oh no, you're choosing wrong one. So basically, you will get the end result no matter what. So of course, that's the little minus problem there. But especially if you don't know about this game and whatnot, it's interesting to go through, and definitely takes a great deal from the real life situations, crime scenes, and I think the letter, one of the letters we had, is mostly word to word the original. Again, the letters probably are all faked. But overall, the game, yes, definitely better than, I would say. The problem with Nemesis was that although it's lighthearted, it definitely is lighthearted, and Arsène Lupin is a fictitious character also, so there's that. But there might have been a little overload of puzzles in too little time space. In space of time, I mean. But it's decent. But something you miss. Awaken, on the other hand, it's a bit more like the Jack the Ripper. A little bit detective work, a little bit puzzles and whatnot, and of course the Lovecraft mythology mixed in at least a little bit. I think the Jack the Ripper takes the best of both games and adds more to it, and making the game even better. So I definitely say this is the best of the 3. So if you ever play one of these 3s, I probably would say play the Jack the Ripper. but I have soft spot for Awaken because I played it when it was released. I do love Lovecraft and the mythology of those things. Unfortunately, I can't remember that much. It's been a while since I read those books. I should really do that again. But again, Necronomicon, Lovecraft, Dagon, Cthulhu, they always are interesting characters and interesting settings, so that definitely plays a part, which I like Awaken. Nemesis, I'm not saying I hate it, but of these three, it had his points, but again, I would say that at times those puzzles start to wear you, because especially in the museum, they're hard, and you do the same thing over and over. You get a clue, try to find the puzzle, try to solve the puzzle, get another clue, go back to the library, get a clue where the next puzzle will be, do the same again, and they're getting quite hard and harder and harder. So there's no time to just go with the story. Unlike the Jack the Ripper, you had puzzles, you have interaction with other characters. That's something that in Awaken there's not much of character interaction. This has character interaction. You talk to people, you try to find the clues, you try to solve how the crime was done and whatnot. And that is something the later Sherlock Holmes games also uses. I can't remember Testament, but Crimes and Punishments do at least use it. It's weird, I can't really remember those. I do remember Crimes and Punishment. You can make wrong choices also if you don't find everything. So you can miss things, if I remember correctly. Testament, there's only... It's been a while since I played it. I do know that I enjoyed it, but I can't remember anything about it. Same goes with the Devil's Daughter and also Crimes and Punishment. Probably when I start to play it, I probably remember more. It happened to me with the Sherlock Holmes, the Jack the Ripper, which is weird. I had these few points in the game that I remembered, but overly I was like, I can't even remember who done it and whatnot. But the further it went along, and I started to remember that, yeah, it might have been some butcher or something like that. I wasn't certain about it, but it started to appear in my brain. Somehow I remember that the doctor of the clinic would be in bigger part, but I probably combined the clinic doctor to Dr. Bumblebee or Tumblebee. But yeah, that's it. What about the Jacob Levi? He is a real character. I don't know how... Oh. I can't say if there's how he was viewed as a... What is this says about where is it? I try to check. I'm not going to do any deep dive, but definitely he apparently was a real person. But and there are actually, in 2020, Brown said, my conclusion that Jacob Levy was Jack the Ripper. I'm fairly sure about all the evidence, and it does support this more than blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, he definitely has been a suspect. But to be, again, if somebody says, yes, this guy is the killer, it's the problematic because, of course, we only live with the information we have at the moment, and lots of information has gone away. So yeah, especially if you're making a book and say, I know who did it, usually it means you want to sell the book, because a book that says, I don't know who did it, it could have been this and that, or that, it's not so hot when you say it. I have a book which says, this guy did it, and I know it. It's much more interesting book to sell than saying, yeah, Jack the Ripper, we don't know. We just don't know. Anyways, yeah, that's it. Probably continue with the Sherlock Holmes games unless something very interesting happens. But yeah, I probably continue with the Sherlock Holmes games. Yeah, this is gonna be a little longer episode anyways. Has been a little longer episode, mostly me talking about, but to be honest, there's no point to cut this game, the episode shorter, because yeah, that would be annoying. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough, and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye.